I don't really want to move on to a different worldly wind in the middle of the week. Yeah, I have something else to say about pain and pleasure. Because we're so in the throes of it, really, in the mix, in the matrix of pain and pleasure. It's so much a part of our lives. You know, Again, evolution moved forward with pleasant sensations as the guide, pleasant sensations, you know. So we're wired to move toward the pleasant. Yeah. We reach for the pleasant. We want more of the pleasant. Yeah. We want less of the unpleasant, of the painful. Of course, of course, it's common sense as well. Yeah. And all the way up the evolutionary ladder, it's so. You know, we watch our cats every day in the elegant way they move toward pleasure. Yeah, yeah. And the subtle. You really, you just see. Look at evolution in play here. Look at how refined they are in the way they walk into a room. Really feel the energy, the energetic of the room. Take their time, slowly, just the right spot and just the right posture. I think this is it. Yeah, and we're all wired this way. We all want this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then there's the reality, another of the waters that we swim in, that we can't not swim in, which is the water of impermanence, the water of anicca. The underpinning of experience which is that it's always passing away, that doesn't last, that things don't last, that nothing lasts. And we know it, we know it. Of course, we live it, and still, how do we make a relationship with that? It's not a once and for all relationship. It's an ongoing relationship with the comings and the goings. With the, in Buddhism, they talk about even when mindfulness gets really clear and steady and strong, what do we see? What do we see? We don't see things staying. We see things more quickly arising and passing, just more quickly arising and passing. Oh no, but here's another arising, but it passes. It's just arising and passing more quickly. Everything is going over the waterfall all the time. Not just day by day or hour by hour and moment by moment, second by second. Right now. Where's your breakfast now? Where's the morning now? Where it doesn't stop. We're in that flow of arising and passing away all the time. And yet poignantly, we want to hold on and reach for the pleasant. Of course we do. And then it passes. We can't hold on. We can't hold on. I love this expression. I think it's Shakespeare's expression. Parting is such sweet sorrow. It occurred to me today that it's all sweet sorrow. It's all sweet sorrow, isn't it? When we zoom in, when we take the time to really see what's going on here, there isn't a single thing that we've been able to hold on to yet. It's all slipping through. It's all slipping through. And yet, how do we make a relationship? How do we find our footing? How do we find our grounding? How do we find peace? How do we find contentment in a landscape which is constantly shifting, where the pleasant does not stay? Yeah, and yet where it's our nature to keep reaching for it. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm thinking of those little babies reaching for those colored balls above the crib. It hasn't stopped. We're still reaching for those colored balls. We're still reaching for sweetness. It's part of it. We don't outgrow that in a way, right? And Buddhism suggests, well, look closely. Look, I'm sorry. This is the way it is. I didn't make the rules. How do we make harmony? How do we harmonize with that reality? And pain and pleasure continuously alternating, despite our best efforts to keep the pleasant around, to orchestrate our world so that the pleasant pretty much stays around. But it doesn't. It doesn't stay, right? It doesn't stay. How do we find some harmony with that? Well, how do we loosen our grip? How do we loosen? This is, of course, this is ultimately what the Buddha is suggesting. Listen, check it out. How's it working out? Trying to grip really tightly onto things that still are not going to last. How's that working out? You can keep doing that, but it's still not going to last. You can keep pushing really hard, really try to organize your whole world around not feeling certain things, around not looking at certain things, around pretending certain things aren't there. They're still not going to go away. Impermanence is still going to be there. It's always there. How do we loosen our grip? How do we begin to flow more gracefully, more harmoniously with this reality that we're birthed into? Yeah, this is part of what the Dharma is about. It really is. How to find more harmony in this part of reality, this core part of reality. This is so. Well, I mean, you've heard me quote William Blake's quote, and I do think this captures part of the direction, right? It captures the dance as well as the direction to move. Again, okay, let me use they who bind to themselves a joy do the winged life destroy. But they who kiss the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. Yeah? They who bind to themselves the joy do the winged life destroy. They who kiss the joy as it flies live in eternity's sunrise. I love the sentiment of that. What Buddhism does is make that a practice, part of our practice. How do we practice doing that? How do we practice kissing the joy? Here it is. How do we translate that kind of gripping pleasure into some poignant sweetness of, look at this. Yes, it's slipping away, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful in this moment. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. How do we appreciate the sweetness and the sorrow, the sweet and the sorrow, the sweet and the poignant, the sweet and the poignant? Yeah. Yeah, the sweet and the letting go. How do we appreciate and let go and not getting all nihilistic about it? What's the point? It's all going anyway. We could go there too. How's that work? Yeah. This is a real core part of the dance of life, and it's also the core part of the dance of Dharma. You're looking closely into this nature of things arising and passing away in our lives, that they aren't going to stay no matter what we do, but they're still sweet and precious in that moment if we can turn toward them in that way. Yeah, if we can practice turning toward them in that way, that moment, this breath, this morning, these hands still working in this moment. Yeah.